Good.
Yeah, so, like I was saying, like, being on a visit and my young one, my little one, my 10-year-old asked, like, Pops, like, why are you in prison? And I'm like, I looked at you. You was like, nah, nigga, like, that's you. Answer that. So I had to, like, be meticulous in how I answered the question because I didn't want to lie to her, but I had to be honest with it and let her know, like, yo, I was caught up in some thing that wasn't, I should have been caught up in, and as a result, this is what happened. The good thing about it is, not the good thing, because ain't nothing good about being in prison. Something that helped is the fact that I did not commit my crimes. So I was able to explain it to her in a way that helped her understand, like, yo, I was caught up in something that somebody else did, and because I didn't snitch, I was snitched on or lied on, and as a result, this is the result of that. But I also helped her understand there's a lesson to be learned from this. Be careful who you hang with. Be careful who you choose
Right.
to deal with because people
Mm-hmm.
got wrong intentions out here. And then like my 14-year-old start asking me about my tattoos. She know that I'm a gang. She know we never done hid the fact that I'm a black. I can't hide it. It's tattooed on my face. It's tattooed all over my body. But she like, yeah, in school, guys, they say this, they say that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I remember like when she started asking me about my tattoos, I told her a few things, but then she was like, nah, they this, that, and third. And she got upset because I stopped it right there and was like, no, we're not about to do that. Anyway, and she was like, well, yeah, you just dismissed me. Like, yeah, because we're not about to sit here and have no gang conversations about what this means and what that means. I'm not about to teach you none of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, in a nutshell, it was just, like I said earlier, transparency. I don't want to ever lie to my kids. But any questions they have about my past, I don't want them to find out about who I am from somebody, who I was from somebody else. I want to be able to explain to them, but is a time and a place for everything. That conversation needed to be had, so it was had. But just keeping the lines of communication honest and open. You know what I mean?
Right. So, and mind you, y'all, this was a face to face encounter. They wasn't on the phone, so he couldn't hide from the fact or hang up or anything like that. He couldn't hide from these questions that's being asked from our children. They wanted understanding. They wanted their answers. He had to give it to them. Like
They
whether
lifted up.
he wanted to be
They lifted
flat
up my
out honest or if he wanted to, beat
right,
around it, he them
they
questions was brought to him face to face.
right.
Now, these are some that we
They
deal
lifted
with
up.
children on a day to day basis. Go ahead, Ben.
Right. They lifted up. They lifted up my sleeves. They looking at my tattoo. They flipping my arm around. What this mean? What that mean? Why this? Why this? Why this? And then given the fact that they are in a prison, it's like I had to look them in their eyes. It wasn't no. I had to look them in their eyes and tell them like, yo, this is what it is. But not. I'm not just telling you that this is what it is. This is why this is. This is why we're teaching you this. This is why we say don't do this. And then not even after they got back from the visit, that situation happened with one of my kids, my 14-year-old in school, where she got into a little situation, and I had to explain to her, now you understand what I mean by hanging with the wrong people. Now you understand what I mean by putting yourself in situations. Now you understand what I mean by these things because though you're 14 years old, you're not exempt or you're not too young to go through these elements of life. You know what I mean?
Right. So what we try to do every day as parents, we try to teach our kids to read the room, to look for signs. Signs is always there. Y'all might call it as red flags, but we tell them to read the room. And you will know what kind of people to be around, what kind of people not to be around, what to involve yourself in, what not to involve yourself in, and get yourself out that situation before it's too late. We very strong on that as
Speak
parents.
up. Speak up. Speak. Hey, let me say this. I want to say this. This is very important. Understand what snitching is. It's very important that these young cats know what snitching is, yo. Because everybody was, you snitching, you snitching. Yo, if you're not out here committing crimes with somebody and y'all get caught as a result of committing crimes, whether y'all robbing, stealing, selling drugs, killing somebody, or doing anything that you're not supposed to be doing, and one of y'all get caught and you tell on the person that you was with to save yourself, that is what snitching is. If you don't got nothing to do with nothing, and you're in a situation where somebody is doing something they're not supposed to be doing, you speaking up ain't snitching. You don't have to involve yourself in something that don't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
But is that speaking up is not snitching, yo. Like, if y'all in school and something, my daughter was in school and they was in the bathroom and she shouldn't have been in the bathroom, but she was in the bathroom talking, and a teacher came in the bathroom and it was some vapor smoke in the air, and, you know, hey, who's in here vaping? Like, all I was about to get in trouble. And my daughter spoke up, yo, I did not do this. I was not vaping. That's not snitching. You know what I'm saying? She was about to get caught up in some shit that had nothing to do with her, and she didn't point out the person who was doing it, but she said, yo, I'm not getting caught up for something that I did not do. I'm not about to get in trouble for something I did not do. Y'all need to speak up. And the little girl ended up, you know, speaking up or however it went. But my kids are taught not to involve themselves in shit that got nothing to do with them. But it's not snitching though. It's just speaking up.
Right, and that's a lot of ignorance going on. Right. Exactly.
I know. I said then. Furthermore, a person that's not in that street life can never snitch. Especially considered a Samaritan, like somebody's grandparent, child, or whatever. A snitch is somebody who's out here participating in the things that we out here in these streets doing, and then you get caught up, and then you tell to get yourself out that situation. But a person who have nothing going on, don't live that life. Furthermore, a child, there's no such thing. Exactly.
Right. Okay, so this will be our last question. We at 6 minutes. If y'all had to go back, if y'all had the chance to go back to do anything, what would y'all change?
Just on any aspect?
Yeah, on any aspect. If you could go back and change some things to not be in the situation that you're in, to avoid getting in the situation that you're in, what would you change?
Well, if I can go back and change anything to avoid being in the situation I'm in, it'll be to, just on a deeper level, but it'll be to be able to have my mom back alive, because I feel growing up with the sight, with the image of watching her get brutally murdered in front of me as a child, caused me to act out growing up. And furthermore, not getting no help and no counseling. But if I can go back and change anything, I would want that to change, because I believe that I would have had a better life.
And that goes back to when we said something previous in our video, when something was stated like hurts people, that falls in that category right there. He was hurt. He was going through something, and he didn't know how to heal properly. So he lashed out in other aspects and in other ways that caused him to be who he is or who he were. Go ahead, Tech.
Right. Yeah, for me, I think ultimately, like, and I love my babies, but I had my first kid when I was about 16, 17. And as a result of that, it made me, I went hard for mine. Every prenatal appointment, I was buying clothes. I provided financially in every aspect for not just my child, but for her mother. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, I put myself in a lot of desperate situations trying to get money. And as a result of that, it led to me trying to look for something big. And me looking for something big is why I'm in the situation I'm in. So I think I would have just waited to have kids, because I put myself in desperate situations in order to be able to provide for my firstborn. So, you know.
And that
and
also
plus, it took away from her development. Like,
right.
I wasn't present in her life the way she needed to be too. So.
And that also goes back on what Tech said previous in the video. People put themselves in certain situations to survive, to make it through, to see another day, and desperate situations. And if he wouldn't have had a reason or responsibilities to tend to, then he wouldn't have put himself in desperate situations that led him up to being in the situation that he in. So it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And what you do doesn't make you who you are.
It's about where you at today, what you learned from what you went through. If you haven't learned nothing, then it's all in vain.
Right.
Where you stand at today, because people make mistakes. We all gonna go through struggles, and though you might hide your struggles and people might not know the mistakes you make, you can't hide from who you are. Be real. Be yourself. Stand on what you stand on. Stand 10 toes down. That's what that means. That don't mean, cut them up, shoot them up, bang. That means just be authentic. Be genuinely you.
So with that being said, that ends our session for today. We will be back tomorrow with more videos.